I'm outside Jimmy Chop Chop today, as some of you may know, and sadly it was broken into over the weekend, quite unexpectedly. About £1,500 worth of equipment stolen from the display cabinet at the front. So we've decided to do a little piece on making people aware of what they can get to make their homes or businesses safe. And I'm joined today by Warren Marsh. Warren, how are you, sir?
Morning. Very well, thank you.
Now, you are a locksmith and security specialist. Tell us a little bit about your business.
Well, I'm an independent trader, so literally work on my own, so I know what it's like when somebody comes along and takes the stuff from you. But I've been going about 5 years now, offering a free service if people want it, just for security purposes, just so their own peace of mind. Somebody else looks at their property, gives a different perspective, sees it in a different way. I can offer a range of services right the way from expensive locks to cheap locks to basically just anything you require, key cutting on site, domestic, commercial and vehicle, or any security possibilities. I'm available for anybody 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Excellent. Well, that's really nice to know. Now, you've got some bits with us today. What we really wanted to do is show people some, differentiations in costs of what they can do and how simple they are, because I expect a lot of people think that it's quite expensive. But tell us a little bit about what you've got.
The thing is, obviously with the security side, yes, okay, for what it is, it's just an object sitting on your door, on your window. It does seem expensive, but what you've got to put into account of how much what you're protecting inside the property. Something on wooden doors, a lot of people now have plastic or UPVC doors, but on the old style wooden doors, you've got something similar to something like that. Okay, it's a good make, it's Yale, but they're next to nothing. They're pennies. The security is relatively weak, and for, let's just say, around £100–150, which I know it sounds expensive when you're trying to think, you go up to something completely different, something like this. And when you can gauge the size of it all, the security level is far in excess of this. And because it's British standard, which is what you generally would have to fit these days, your insurance company will, on most occasions, either lower your premiums or at least expect you to have a British standard lock fitted. Now, whether it's a night latch like that or whether or not it's a deadlock, which is something I've got here, another one. Again, very simple thing. Again, mostly on wooden doors. Right. Very simple. You can see the difference.
It's like a double lock, isn't it?
Yeah, it's often people class them as a chub lock. So you've got a cheap little one here, which, without being funny, you could probably kick that in or barge that open quite easily. You go to something a little bit better, which is British standard again. Again, it's going to cost you no more than about £100. It is.
And these are deterrents for people. It will take them a little while longer to get into your home. Obviously, maybe giving you the chance to be aware that they're there or get somebody else to see it.
They're going to make more noise as well. Yeah. It's trying to stop people being obvious. Silly things like closing your windows. Instead of leaving them on the breather latch, if you like, you've got a secondary latch on there. That's really easy for people to get in, and it takes seconds. Close the windows if you go, and I know it makes the house stuffy, but it's making it stuffy or security conscious. It's the worst of two evils, really. Sure. When it comes to UPVC doors, there's not a lot more you can add to the security, apart from the fact that one of the biggest issues is actually physically lock it with the key. A lot of people close the door behind them because they can't open the door from the outside. They think it's secure, and there's UPVC companies saying exactly that. It's not. Lock it. Always lock it, because it takes me less than 10 seconds to get in your front door if you don't lock it. And don't get me wrong, I know I'm doing it legally. There's plenty of people probably doing it illegally.
Now let's talk about keys, because I think it's quite an important thing. Where you put your keys is pretty important. Yeah. There's been a few burglaries in Crawley recently, sadly, and they have found the keys quite easily and taken their car with them. Yeah. So what would you say? Hide them somewhere? Have a box?
Out of sight, out of mind. It's the old, it's the easy obvious saying. Don't have them in a bowl by the front door, because you get straight away, okay, with the cars, for an example, someone breaks into the house, the keys are right there, they're easy to take, they take the keys, drive the car away, you're not insured. If they're out of sight, it's going to take them a while to actually find them. Therefore, by that time, hopefully somebody might have noticed that your front door's open and you're not in.
It's all giving a little bit of extra time,
It's just thinking about it. It's thinking about it.
If they want to get in, they're going to get in.
Of course they are. It's like anything. the higher the level of security, the more chances, and this sounds horrible, they're going to go to your neighbour. Not that you want them to go to your neighbour, but they're not going to try you. And it is one of those where you make it obvious. If they can see something nice through the window, they're going to have a go. And it's looking at it, putting things out the sight. Just literally, just put them away. Put a cover over the top so they can't see what it is. Keys left in the
gives you that little bit extra.
Don't leave your keys in the door thinking that's secure, because they can't put a key in from the other side. It's easy to slide it out through your letterbox, and you don't hear.
Yeah.
You know, people are asleep, and it's easy to slide them out.
Yeah.
So it's
no, good advice. Now, you're quite willing and happy to go around and give people a free valuation of their
absolutely.
security and let them know, well, you know, to be honest, I'd change that lock, or
Yeah.
or your home looks pretty safe and secured. Remember to lock your windows.
Yeah.
And put your keys out of sight. It's quite important.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
And then what do you think? That you're happy to go around and talk
absolutely.
to people and show
I'm quite happy to come around. A no obligation quote for whatever I think may be advisory. Obviously, there's no guarantees. I'll offer the best service I can, give them the best advice I can, but at the end of the day, it's up to the individual to take that and to be a little bit more self-conscious about how they're locking up.
Sure.
You know, not digress, but obviously there's been a lot of bike being stolen, and it's again spending that little bit more on it. Say a silly option I've got. This is just a padlock, believe it or not. This again, this is probably about £60-70 worth of padlock, and you can go into Halfords and buy a reasonable one, but they cut it open quite easily. This is something completely different. You can't get hold of it. The chain go around it would be fairly substantial. Again, it's the value of what you're protecting and how much you really want the
I've seen one of
aggravation.
those. Hold that up to the
Again,
camera
so
for
it's
me.
just like a ball basically, and it comes apart very simply,
Wow.
like so. And the keys can't be cut just by anybody. They have to be cut by a locksmith.
And you said you do car keys as well. If
yes.
somebody's had their car keys stolen but they haven't taken the car, can you cut new keys for them, or maybe
Yes,
reinstate their lock?
Often when the car's keys have been lost and you've got a spare, we can clear the system inside the car to wipe out all the existing keys and reprogram in new keys, so the one that the person has got that they've lost won't work anymore. So, okay, yes, it'll open the doors, but it won't necessarily start the car and drive it away. So there are
Better than nothing.
absolutely there are definite security options. With vans, again, there's it's one of the ones that add a deadlock, same simple work, add a deadlock, add a slam lock. Slightly more expensive, but again, you're protecting your livelihood, you're protecting your tools. Takes a couple of hours to fit. And I come to you, work at that person's site where they're working, so they don't lose money whilst they're working. It's just thinking about it and spending that little bit of money. I know it's hard times. I know what it's like. You spend your money and you think you're getting nothing for it as such, but you are protecting.
It's better than losing all your goods and
This is
TV and laptops and cars.
Absolutely.
Be safe. And be in touch with Warren if you want him to come around and assess your business or your home. I think he's a great guy. He's local. How can they get in touch with you? On your mobile? Is that your mobile number?
Mobile number 07799 001288, or find my website at www.war-lock.co.uk.
Go independent. Best way. Thank you, Warren.
Thank you very
much.
No
Cheers for
problem.
that.
Anytime.
Cheers.
Thank you.
I'm now joined by Nick Crook, who is the manager down here at Crawley for Maplin. Hello, Nick. How are you, sir?
Not bad, thank you.
Are you well?
I'm very well, thank you. Yes.
Excellent. Now, we're doing an awareness campaign to show people how effectively and cost effectively they can make their homes a little bit more secure. Now, you've got some equipment here to show us. Tell us a little bit about the equipment here and how much it costs and what it will do.
Okay. Well, we've got basic cameras. Most people just want a basic camera so they can just see who's at the front door, who's out in the back garden, things like that. The simplest one is something like one of these, which is literally looking about £40 for one of these. It's about as basic as it comes. You can plug it into a standard TV, any TV will be absolutely fine, and a simple adapter. And this will basically give you day and night vision, completely waterproof. It sort of does everything it says on the tin, really. It's as basic as it comes.
It's like a channel on your controls, and you turn it to a certain channel and it will show you the picture outside.
Exactly, a simple AV channel, which is normally used for things like DVD players and things like that.
And
exactly
it's as easy as that. You just plug it in.
It's as easy as that.
Excellent.
One simple connection.
And how much is something like that? You said about £40?
You're looking around £43 for this particular one. It has 5 metres night vision. So it's as basic as it comes, but it's perfect if you just want surveillance outside a front door, for example.
So you can't video it, You can't record it.
You can record if you have something like a VHS or a DVD recorder. Alternatively, you can have what they call a DVR, which is a hard drive in a box, basically. And if you have a DVR, you can get several months recording from one camera.
Oh, wow.
So
That's not bad, then.
if you want a recording device, that would be the way to go.
And you can do it with as basic as a £40 camera from here.
As basic as a £40 camera.
That's brilliant. Now show us the next one. You're going
next one.
You're going up in a few pennies now. We're just trying to show them the variants of what you got. What we got here?
Next one looks exactly the same as the cheaper option. The big difference with this, they're all measured in TV lines. The higher the TV lines, the better resolution the picture will be. Looking at Swan's very latest, it's sort of 700 TV lines, very good resolution. The big difference with this, the night vision is much, much further. So if you've got a large garden or a large driveway and you want to see out over that, this would be the one to see for the night vision, certainly.
Right, excellent. And that also, you can also record from that one if you have a DVR.
Exactly the same, a DVR or a VHS or a DVD recorder. And again, if you just want a simple plug it into a TV, again, just with one simple adapter, you're looking to just plug it straight into a TV again.
So how much are we talking for that one?
This is slightly more expensive. This is £100. This is the other end of the scale.
And that is, again, for anybody out there that's scared of technology, it's a plug-in system.
It's a plug-in. One connection for the TV and a power supply, and it's literally plug it into a main socket and it's powered.
And that is that.
And it's as simple
It's
as that.
Now I can see that you've got some more expensive systems there, ranging up to just under £400. They look very technical and but they have their own box. I gather they record themselves. Are they sensor triggered, or does it record constantly?
Yep. On the kits, you get the DVR. The cameras plug into that DVR, so you'll get the recording option. It's as simple, you can either have a continuous record, and that's dependent on the time of how many cameras you have and the size of the hard drive inside. Or you can have them set to motion sensing as well as, so you can only record if someone or something is in front of the cameras, basically.
Now, for again, the technophobes out there, because that's me as well, you know, how easy is it to use that expensive system?
The DVR plugs into a TV, that's the easy part. Although the whole thing it seems very complicated, it's not. It's a simple case of one power supply will split all the cameras you have in the kit. It's a simple case of plugging it into the mains and then just wiring from the camera to the DVR, and it's a simple push and twist fitting. Right. It's as simple as that.
You can get Wi-Fi ones though, can't you? You can get ones that you don't have to wire in. If people were worried about that, I expect it's going to be a little bit more money. But
wireless cameras indeed, yes. So you're looking at about £100 for a very good one. And that basically has a power supply for the camera, so that'll be plugged into where the camera's going. And then all we have plugged into the DVR or the TV is a little wireless receiver, which again just plugs into the TV and receives the pictures from the camera.
Technology, it's clever, isn't it?
Very clever indeed, yes.
Now we actually have a system that we bought from you guys, absolutely fantastic. I think it was about £70. And if anybody moves in front of that camera, it sends a picture to my mobile phone.
Yep.
And you can have it real time as well if you wanted.
You can indeed.
70 quid, all you do is plug it in.
Yeah. A lot of all of our kits now come with the DVR it's enabled for networking, which means if you've got broadband at home, simply plug the DVR into your modem router, and you can access a free app which is provided by Sentient, as one brand we have, or the Swan free app, and that will allow you to, if you've got a smartphone, it's Android, BlackBerry or iPhone, or even if you're at work on a laptop or you're on holiday and you've got access to a computer, you can access it anywhere in the world and it will alert you when something happens.
That's brilliant though, isn't it?
It is very clever.
And at the end of the day, you don't have to do an awful lot to make these things happen. The apps show you what to do, they show you where to go. It's very simple instructions, isn't it?
It is indeed. Swan are probably one of the best actually. It's all very simple to set up, very easy to follow. One of the easiest.
Troubleshooting on their website if need be, I gather.
Indeed, yes. Either the Swan website is very good, or say in store here even, it's as simple as.
Yeah, because you're always here to help. If anybody had any problems, you could always advise them, couldn't you, on what to do?
We are indeed. We're always here.
Excellent. Well, I'd like to thank you very much for talking to us today.
Most welcome.
Obviously, it is about awareness. Come down to Maplin, have a chat. Come and see this young man. It's absolutely fantastic here. They've got loads of little bits that you can have, even just little sensory alarms that they've got that you can put about you. It's just about deterrent and giving.
It is.
If you scare them, the odds are they might go away then, mightn't they?
A lot of people are put off just by knowing they're being watched.
Yeah, and that does work, doesn't it? So come and see Nick and have a chat with him and his wonderful staff here at Maplin. They'll be glad to help you, and I'd like to thank you very much for your time today.
Most welcome.
Cheers, Nick.
Thank you.
Well, somewhere between the hours of 1 a.m. Sunday morning and 9 o'clock in the morning, which is when the builder came in, somebody broke in. They bashed our door, we think with a crowbar or something. So because it was like a wooden frame, it's broken. The locks have been broken. The alarm was set, so the alarm was obviously going off. And they came in, as you get the front of the shop here, took all of the GHDs, which that front display was literally our GHD display, which we hadn't long done, to be fair, as well. So, and they took all of the stylers, the new stylers that we had, and a couple of the air hair dryers. And yeah, obviously it's really disappointing to discover that, you know, Jim's worked hard here trying to build a business, and people take the opportunity to come along and grab what doesn't belong to them. So because once the door's open, the alarm goes off. So I would imagine that it's at that point they probably think they haven't got very long. It's in and out, and if you see around the shop as well, there's a lot more stock and the till area, etc. So none of that was touched. So it was literally, I would imagine, not long, let's get in, let's get out, and off we went. I mean, I would advise anybody really to make sure that they've got some form of security, even if it's just the minimum, you know, that you can have. But definitely as a deterrent, I believe that, you know, our alarm definitely helped us in not having more things taken. I mean, it would be stupid now, I believe, in my opinion, to not have some form of security, for sure, yeah.